10th standard English, lesson number 2.1, animals. Let's see what this it is a poem. It is written by Walt Whitman, and he was there from 1819 to 1892. He was a major figure in early American poetry, and that means he was very well known at that time. In an age when all poetry was rhymed and metrical, Whitman made a break with tradition and wrote a revolutionary new kind of poetry in free verse. He was non-conformist in all respects, including his social life. The poet tells us that he feels more at home with animals than humans, what he finds complicated and false. So here in this poem, the message that he is giving, that he is more comfortable with animals, the way they are very much true, and human beings are very much complicated. So let's see what he is telling in this poem. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. Placid here, turn here means transform. I think I could transform and live with animals. So he is telling in very first line that he want to be like an animal. And why? Because they are so placid. Placid means not easily upset, and self-contained, that is self-sufficient. So they never get upset about anything in their life, and they are so self-contained. They are very much in their they are having sufficient to eat and live their life, because Almighty has created them and he is taking care of them, and they don't worry about the small things as humans do. Humans need their needs and wants are so much that they struggle to achieve their needs and wants, and their life gets mingled up in this only. But these animals, they are so free. They are free from all kind of tensions and worries. They are free. They get everything freely in nature as God has given them, and they get adapted to the natural environment, and they are very much get adjusted to that whatever place, in whichever place they are born. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. So he is standing and looking at them, and he is finding that they do not sweat, they don't struggle, they don't do hard work, and they don't whine also. That is, they don't worry also about anything in their conditions. They do not lie awake in dark and weep for their sins. So in the night time, they don't when they lie down in the bed, or when they take rest, they don't weep like humans. As humans, they cry for their setbacks, they cry for the wrongdoings, and at the night time, we humans, they like some of us, we do remember or just recollect all the things and about whole day or about our life, and then what tears are there in the eyes of people for their wrongdoings. And sins are wrongdoings and wrong deeds that against the will of God. So they do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. They don't disgust this poet discussing their duty to God. So they don't some of the people, they do have the tendency to tell you what is correct, what is right, what is wrong, and every now and then they'll make you to bother about the things, that how your behavior should be. So no, there is these animals, they don't do like that to him. So no, not one is dissatisfied, and not one is demented with the mania of owning things. So nobody here, animals are not at all dissatisfied. They are almost satisfied with their life, and they are not demented. Demented means mad here. With mania means craze of owning things. They don't have the craziness to own this is mine as humans do. They are so possessive about every small thing also and big things also. Like even if there is a, if you are thinking about your childhood days, you will find, or you will remember that how you crave for your things, that this is my toy, or how you quarrel with your own siblings or brothers and sisters or your friends, that this is my toy, my this thing, my, don't touch this, don't touch that. So it is right from childhood, this thing is there in our mind. So this mania, this is madness, craze of owning things, possessiveness is not there in animals. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. So not one kneels to another. Nobody bows down in front of another. Kneeling down means just losing your self-respect and getting yourself on knees in front of, that is, you just bow down, you get in the hands of, you give your self-respect in the hands of others, and you try to behave like their wish and will. And these humans do to achieve the success, to achieve the targets. Not to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. So the humans, as they are from generations, from thousands of years, they are living and they are doing this all things to achieve the success. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So these animals, they are too happy and satisfied with their lifestyle and the whole earth. So they don't have that sadness in them. So they show their relation to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself, they evince. So what they are doing, so that's why they show their relations to me. The author is, the poet finds very much comfortable in the midst of animals, as they show him the kind of this affection to him. It is said that if we give affection, love, care to any animal, if we have our pets at home, the way we treat them, the same way they also treat us, they also look at us in that manner. So it's attachment that is there. So he finds that these animals are more genuine and real to him, and that's why he gets related to their affection. They bring me tokens of myself. Here, tokens here like virtues like innocence, simplicity, contentment, etc. These are the tokens here. And they are so simple, they are very innocent, they are very much content about everything, and they evince, they show them plainly in their position. So very genuinely, in a very real manner, they showed it all to this poet, that how we simple are, how our lifestyle is, how we are living, and how much we are fully content with our life. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge time ago and negligently drop them? So he is wondering. There I wonder whether I also was owning this thing, that I was simple, I was innocent, I was content with whatever I am having, but whether these things were there with me, and did I pass that way huge time ago? So I in my whole life till now, whether I was owning it, and what I did, as I passed my journey till now, what happened to the position, the tokens, the virtues that I was having, and negligently dropped them. So whether I dropped them in my journey till now. So I, knowingly or unknowingly, what happens, many people, they change, and they change as per the situation, as per the circumstances, and they don't realize that in this run after in this race for achieving success in life, they forget all the virtues, all the good things that they do possess. They keep it aside and they go for the targets to achieve. They only think that is there, that they have the materialistic thinking, and when a person gets materialistic, then for him there is no concern about any of the simple things or innocent or a kind of good things. Only thing they know is by hook or crook I should achieve it. So they try to be so different, and they do whatever kind of wrong things, or they will go in a wrong way. They'll take the wrong decision, they'll behave wrongly, behave rudely, they'll be partial enough, they'll do the cheating, they'll misbehave with the people, they will all sorts of wrong thing they'll do to achieve their uh, success and the targets that they have fixed, and they'll go ahead only. They'll never think, they will never be emotional, they will be never sentimental about anything. They'll be more practical, and they'll be more and more greedy. So here this did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them. So here this question is for everybody. Yes, so the writer, he used this very free verse, and he was a first he was a new kind of poem, that poetry he wrote. And as the previously it was all rhyme schemes, rhyming words used to be there, there used to be meter, there used to be 4 lines or 14 lines, like that a stanza, or and as per that that was a technique of writing a poem used by so many poets and poetess of that time. But he made the revolutionary work, and he changed the idea of poetry. So he wrote it in a free verse. So you can see that there is nothing, you can see there is the rhyme schemes do not match, the rhyming words are not there, but still it's a poem. So it's a huge, it's a very a rational poem and very practical poem also.